I think it probably seems obvious, although as much as it sounds obvious, there are still many, many times, even now, that we find ourselves in situations where we're not as multi-threaded as we think we should be, or we think that we are. I think there's benefits not only for the seller, but also for the buyer. So real quick, as it relates to the seller, being multi-threaded means you will likely get input and buy-in, hopefully, from multiple stakeholders. So I think if anybody's familiar with practices or sales methodologies like Miller Hyman, some of the older ones that are out there, the idea is you want to understand who your champion is, who are your coaches, what are the potential threats in the deal? Do you know your IT buyer? Do you know your user buyer? Do you know your executive buyer? All of those represent sometimes, one person for each group. Sometimes it's multiple people across all of those groups. I would say that depending on what you're reading, some of the more recent research from CEB and from others will say that the buying decision today is done by consensus. And oftentimes it can take anywhere between, it's so silly, sometimes you'll find numbers like 6.4 all the way up to 12 point something buyers part of that decision-making process. And so making sure that you are taking into consideration all of the needs and all of the potential objections that every single one of those buyers may have will really help you to better position yourself in the deal, to make sure that there are no last minute objections that might come up. So really it's preparing yourself and positioning yourself to have a better chance of winning the deal. From the buyer's perspective, the benefit that they have oftentimes is they're getting a chance to build trust and get to learn you more. And ultimately, if it's a mutual relationship, if they feel like they're getting to know you and you are getting to know all these different stakeholders, you're actually hopefully sharing information and teaching them things that they don't even know about themselves, or things that they don't even know about other parts of their business that you are helping to kind of provide or shed light on for them. So it's good and healthy for the sales process, but also good and healthy for the customer post-buying process.